So how are
No
things
problem.
going for you?
Okay, so we talked the first time. It was, I guess, day 2. So today is Friday's day 4, 5. I have a completely different outlook now. I mean, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A couple of days, I guess I kind of had it together. I mean, it starts early in the morning and it goes late into the night. And since both of my kids are little, trying to do their lessons, they need one-on-one at all times, and it just seems like I can't ever stay caught up. So it's just a whole other world teaching at home.
Yes.
I'm ready to go back to work.
Me too. Yes.
Well, no, not back. Let me rephrase that. Not back to work. Back to school.
Yes.
Because I'm working now.
Yes, and it's a different type of work when you work at home.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
There are some conveniences, but at the same time, there's some challenges that outweigh the convenience.
Yes. Yes.
Now, you said the first time we talked, one of your big challenges was internet, because you don't have really stable internet. Has that been a problem for you in terms of getting your work accomplished?
Thankfully, the last couple of days, whether it's a Fluke or CenturyLink got their stuff together, the internet's been pretty good the last couple of days, so I haven't had any issue with that. I just know that if I need to upload anything or make sure I absolutely get something done, I just have to do it early in the morning, and so I normally start about 6 every morning.
Wow. I think Judy's gotten up about 6 or so the last couple of days to get her stuff uploaded and ready to go for the day too.
Yes.
What has been your biggest challenge so far?
I guess it's just to make it, for me to feel like that I am doing everything I can to make sure that my students are getting the same lesson, me not being there. I guess I'm just hard on myself, if that makes any sense.
It does, yeah.
Because, I mean, I just want to make sure that everything's there, everything they could possibly need, and I just worry that I keep thinking, well, maybe I should have done this, should have done that, and, they message me all day, but still, it's just, I want to make sure that they're still getting the best education they can without me being there.
How often are you getting, contacted by students throughout the day?
Oh, yes. It starts about, I'd say 8. They're not, getting up real early, but they still message me at 10, 11, 12. I hear my phone go off. Sometimes I'll look at it and I just kind of like blurry eyes and I put it back down. I don't normally answer if I'm, it's 11:30 at night.
Right.
So I'll just, if they message me at 11:30, I just answer them when I get up. And if it's at 6 o'clock, I answer at 6 o'clock.
That means they're getting a message at 6 o'clock for messaging you at 11:30.
Exactly.
Well, we talked about how there are some conveniences. What's something that you have actually enjoyed about it?
Well, I mean, it is nice being home with my kids, and it's not thinking, okay, well, if I'm at school and I haven't thought about supper, if I'm here, I can think, oh, well, I can put that chicken out in the claw. I can go do my lessons sitting out on the deck, watch the kids on the swing set. It's nice being at home. It is, but it's also, that's, it's that double-edged sword kind of thing.
It is very double-edged.
So, I do enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm sitting out on my front porch right now because, I'm sure you're outside right now for the same reason I'm outside. It's because it's quieter outside than it is in the house. What day are you scheduled to be able to go back?
Tuesday, the 6th.
Okay, I think we're scheduled to go back on Thursday, so we're not too far behind you. First off, how are you feeling?
I am okay.
Okay.
I'm fine some minutes, and then other minutes it sort of hits. I lose my breath really easily, so that I think the hardest thing is just talking to the kids and telling them different things.
Yeah.
But for my first day back, I think it went decent.
Well, that's good. You're not a first-year teacher, but you're first-year in the high school teacher.
Yes, sir.
How has that gone for you so far?
Gone pretty well. It's sort of weird because I tell people it's my first year teaching, and then I realize it's technically my second year. But since last year, I didn't really get a full year. I feel like it's my first year, but it's wonderful. High school is different than middle school, obviously, but then it's just the same warrior spirit, same pride for our school, and people being so helpful. So I think it's gone pretty well, all things considered, switching over buildings.
Switching to a brand new building.
A brand new building, brand new grade, all of that.
Yeah, you've had quite a few changes recently. So it might be a little bit harder for you to kind of explain, but how has COVID changed the way you do things, I guess, compared to what you thought you would be doing?
Yes. So my dream, sort of how I would love to run my English classroom, is a lot of discussion-based classes, so Socratic seminars where we sort of just all talk through things, more project-based rather than typical classwork tests, that sort of thing. I really wanted it to be a place where we could sort of get into a circle and all just talk together, or in small groups and that sort of thing. And we can't do that this year. One, social distancing, it's just hard. Two, kids feel so miserable, but just so restrained with so many protocols in place. They physically, emotionally feel restrained. They don't want to talk openly about deep concepts or anything like that. You know, kids already are more scared to feel what they think about a text or whatever. They're really more hesitant this year because they're further away from people. It's a weird crowd, all of those things. So I think that's the biggest thing, is I sort of had to rethink how I wanted my class to physically look. You know, now we're all spread out, but also just how I assign things, how I take grades, how everything. We can't really read a novel and discuss it because, one, we don't have enough novels. Two, it's harder for my virtual kids to read Homer and understand it while they're sitting at home by themselves.
Those
So
one-person discussions are not very good, are they?
They're not very good, especially when you're dealing with something like the Odyssey. So I think that's the biggest thing, is I wanted to do a lot of novels and a lot of discussions, and we just can't.
Right.
We can't.
Now, you're just coming off of a couple weeks of being quarantined yourself, so you feel my pain from being home during all this time. What were some of the challenges that you faced while being quarantined and trying to teach and be sick all at the same time?
I think that's something I thought about a lot, because I was home, I was sick, I was very sick, and typically when you're sick, you sort of just close work off and I'll be there when I'm there, but I couldn't do that, and so it was a lot of lifting my head up on the heating pad, trying to email students and do that sort of thing. So I think that was the biggest challenge, is I was sick. I didn't feel like working, but I had to.
Right.
And that was sort of hard to juggle. And then kids were here having technology issues. We're trying to figure out Google Classroom and Yami, and they're trying to tell me what's broken on their end. Well, I'm not seeing it. I don't know. And so it was lots of emails back and forth, while also I just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think Judy and I have both been pretty fortunate this time around. Neither one of us are sick. We're just being quarantined out of precaution, I guess, is more than anything. So we at least feel like doing our job, but man, it's really kind of hard when you're sitting there laying around in your pajamas to be in the right frame of mind to really be working at the same time. I can't imagine how tough that was while being sick.
Finally, the 11th day I missed, I thought, okay, I need to send my kids a proof of life video. Like, they need to at least...
Make sure you're not a robot.
Yeah, and so, changed out of the pajamas, put on a sweatshirt, and sort of made myself sit up and record a video. And so I wanted them to see, one, I was on the brink of death, but also I was sick, but try to talk through things, whereas that was easier just gosh, there were a few things I needed to verbally tell them.
Right. If you could go back and tell your first-year teacher self a warning regarding what's coming ahead of you, what would you tell yourself?
Oh my gosh, what would I tell my first-year teacher self? I think I would tell myself it's hard, and if you could walk out right now, you would. But the same people that walked with you as a student are walking with you as a teacher, and if they can get you through as a student, they'll get you through as a fellow teacher. It is by far the hardest thing I've ever done, and I don't know how to teach. I don't know how to be a teacher if everything was perfect, much less in this scenario. But if I have to do it, I'll do it with these people. And so it's all going to be okay. In the end, it's all going to be okay because you're here home.
Well, thank you, Miss B. Helen Parker. I appreciate you joining me, and hope everything goes well tonight, and I hope you stay healthy and continue to get better.
You too. Thank
All right,
you.
Thanks.